The first time I looked at Forge World and I was like, oh, hey, cool, that's, oh, holy.
There's just way too much. You can't keep it all in. It was so beyond our production capability. We were just like, you know, that's we can't do that. I the artist who started creating it.
Forge is our tool that players can build their own maps. I mean, at its core, it's a map editor.
We always had this vision right from the get-go, which is
anyone can build anything.
Giving the fans the tools they can take and run with it and make it their own.
Forge World actually started
And I said, wouldn't it be cool if, like, you play this and go over there and play over there if you wanted? And Forge World was born. There were a lot of people telling us that, no, you cannot ship this as one big map.
We have this awesome new automatically generated LOD system called that makes objects that are really far away, really cheap to draw.
and what we can do with the Forge budget. So that lets us have many more objects up on the screen at once, which lets us put more objects into Forge.
Just take the Banshee or Falcon out for a spin in Forge World, because it actually takes a while to get from one end to the other.
The second you come into this space, you should know that you're low. Our old friend, the Forerunners, come back, because the Forerunners all sorts of cool, interesting pieces of geometry. We wanted to give people a variety of locations that they could forge in a different way. So a gulch, an island, an interior, a very small outdoor pocket, and then the rock, which was kind of based off Pingas. Let's use a lot of interesting parts in it so that people can it, or we can change it. Why don't we bring back Blood Gulch and carve it all up into pieces so that people can start manipulating it in interesting ways. And then Sanctuary was the other one. The Cage and Paradiso, that's just Chad and I playing with the map editor and actually building cool maps within Forge World. I mean, we were doing that exactly how the fans would do that.
We definitely looked at what we did in Halo 3 and said, what can we learn from this? It's one just a stunning amount of map variants, but like nobody was expecting Forge art, I don't think. Like that was just a completely, whoa, what?
The machines, yeah, those are everywhere.
In Halo 3, it was cool that you move things around, but it was still kind of clunky.
And we're like, we have to make this better.
What are some of the tricks that the community is using, and how can we make those not be tricks and just make those?
We took that stuff and made it like a real. There's normal, phased, and fixed. So normal is like Halo 3 style, you know, it bumps into stuff when you let it go and it falls to the ground and moves around and stuff. And fixed is the same thing, except when you let it go, is exactly where it was. And then phased is the coolest, because it means that while editing the object, it's not actually interacting with the environment. You can put it through a wall, you can put it, you know, through other objects.
Which changed everything, like immediately.
It's much easier to build Forge space. There's snaps and rotates and degrees and units that you can move things. You can be very precise.
The camera controls, it's actually really good placement because like little touches don't translate into really sudden jumpy movements. And then we also have a fine editing mode. You in and then your camera starts moving very slowly.
You're not spending like 3 hours trying to get to line up directly to 3 other.
You can select individual and say get rid of all of this type. So if you're trying to get rid of all points on a map because you want to go and replace all you can do that.
You can do custom. You can take these and say, hey, that's blue. So the blue really look like the blue.
Reach's expanded sandbox includes new things like and if people want to build some sort of 3D map and really make use of they can do that now.
Custom options and go together like and jelly. You're able to do things types that people might not even expect. My favorite example is where the is.
I'm super excited to see what people do with it when it goes out, because there's so much crazy stuff in there that's amazing.
We are shipping maps on this that we made Forge ourselves. So The tools are there. If you have the time and the talent, you can make it.
The community is just gonna rip us and spank us.
With the system, you can save variant, you can post it to your file share, and then you can say, you know, sweet
Things that are good are loaded by a lot of people and around to a lot of people, and that makes the really sweet stuff bubble up to the top. I'm looking forward to what the next big community game type is going to be.
We realized that was our swan song, and what better way to do that than to let people do what we've been doing all along, which is getting new, cool.
It's nice to go out with a bang, and this is a pretty big one.